Hi, my name is Sarthak Mohapatra, and this is my video lab report for Lab 5 Choose Your Own Adventure. The purpose of my lab was to determine the velocity of a watch hand, and the result was that the model did a pretty good job of predicting the motion of the watch hand, showing that the watch hand is just a little bit fast. Now I'll show you a video of this watch hand that I track later on, but you'll have to note that the main physics principles I used were circumference is equal to 2 pi r, and velocity, in this case, is equal to circumference over time, or the total distance traveled over time. In the case of this watch, I found r to be 0.03, or the radius. Pi is obviously 3.1415, so to find the circumference, I multiplied that by 2 and multiplied that by r. And for velocity, I took c and divided by the total time tracked, which is around 60 seconds. Here is a video of my watch. So you can see that it's moving pretty close to time. Right here I'll skip forward just so you can see that it does the entire length of one oscillation around the face. Okay. And so essentially we've already been through most of the code that I would use to set up something like this. The only things that I did differently here were, in order to plot the x and y position of the ball, I ended up doing 5 times cosine t in order to get it to appear sizable on the vidle program, and then I sized that down to by a factor in order to match the radius of the actual clock hand. And you'll see the data on the right, so you'll see at first, because of the tracker error, it's a little bit off, but for the rest of the data, it's actually pretty good and does a good job of finding the result. So there are a few sources of error in this thing that my model does not take into account. One of these errors is probably gravity. So as the watch hand rotates around the watch face, some amount of gravity is probably weighing it down, causing it to take slightly longer than the standard 60 seconds to rotate around the face. Also, because the watch is rather old, the motor could have weakened over time, and it probably kept better time early on. However, now it's just the littlest bit slow because it takes a little bit longer to get around the watch face. Also, the angle that I was holding the camera at might have caused some distortion because of the quartz crystal lens on top of the watch, which causes slight problems for video recording. Thank you for watching my lab.